Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And I actually think that the previous talk is quite related to what I'm talking about because it's how we make sure that a team is aligned and works together towards the same goal. So, in this talk, I'm going to share a series of visual maps that I've used in the past to ensure that a team work together, especially a cross-discipline team. Just few things about me first. Hopefully it works. Yeah. So my name is Laura Dantonio. I've been in the UX industry for the last 17 years. And I work for different sectors, telco industry, publishing, and finance. And specifically, when I was at Elsevier, I worked for a team of about 50 people. That was one of the biggest team I worked for, and with different disciplines, about 10 disciplines working together. So, product manager, back-end and front-end engineer, tester, data scientist, analyst, UX researcher, visual designer, UX designer, strategies, and agile manager. So, a really different approach that came together on a unique team. And what I understood based on my experience is that the collaboration of a team and the team alignment, it was paramount. It was of paramount importance, and the way I approach and support collaboration was by using visual maps. But first of all, mm, let me start off by saying why is important the collaboration, and simply is because we can do so much more if we are together as a team. Alone, we can just do so little. And also, it's important as well is that we collaborate across different disciplines. Why? Because we can be more, we can have better results in terms of solution. But it's also becoming important in the time that we're living. Why? Because the problem that we're solving are more complex, and so we really need to bring different people with different points of view to come together and bring their own expertise. So we cannot get away from collaborating across disciplines. Another point that it's important is that once you have teams to get different people together, you have a team. What is important is to make sure that they have a unique vision. They know what they're aiming to do. That is because a team that is successful is a team that um, has many hands and one mind. They have a clear vision. They are aligned on what they are doing and why. But why is complicated? Why it's hard? Well, there are many reasons, but the most important I want to mention today is that it takes time to collaborate across discipline because each discipline has different way of communicating, different vocabularies, different tools. They practice their practice for a while, and if they haven't collaborated before, it's really a different mindset. And so it's important for a discipline to adapt and adjust to a different way of thinking. So they need to come together and the willingness to learn on communicating a different way. And what you see here from these comics that I've shown is that often when a team with different disciplines come together, they have in their mind a different view of what they need to do. So they think about the what I'm here. They have a different view of what they're doing. And what needs to change is they should come together and think about how they're going to solve a problem and have a clear, the same idea what they are together, why they are together. And I want to share with you this famous tree swing analogy that is from the 1917 that shows how different disciplines they might interpret the same requirement, which is designing um, a tree swing. And just the fact that this picture is more than 15 years ago make me think, because it means that cross-discipline collaboration, been a problem for quite a while. And what this picture shows is, starting from number one, is how the customer explained their requirement, how the project leader understood it, how the analyst designed it, how the programmer wrote it, and what the beta tester received, and how the business consultant describe it. And you can see the other picture, they're all different. So they have in their mind a different picture, what they are doing. So yes, it's difficult, but what are the benefits and why should we bother about cross-discipline collaboration? I'm highlighting here just few of the reasons I think is important, that they are important. And first of all is the fact that it saves time in the long run. So if a team work together from the beginning, early on, it can eliminate a lot of back and forth communication or challenge throughout the process. So they align what they want to do from the beginning. And it also helps improve the communication among the team, because if they work together, they are more familiar with each other tools and style of communication. So each individuals gets better at communicate among themselves. And it also brings better alignments when all the parties understand the rationale of their decision, their points of view. It gives everyone the ownership of the problem they're solving. And ultimately, it helps to utilize divergent perspective. So each discipline bring their perspective, their way of doing, and that helps to solve the problem and ultimately helps to create a better solution and better results. So what I want to do now is to share with you the way that I improve cross-discipline collaboration in my experience, and it's mainly through the use of visual maps. Why? Because they help to share and compare information. They put information out there rather than in people's head, and they help everyone to see the problem in a way that transcend and integrate disciplinary boundaries. Something that I noticed that all the visual map I've used to foster cross collaboration, they had one thing in common. They had the problem and solution in the same map. So that was showing that connection clearly. And that really helps a team to understand why they're doing what they're doing. Rather than just have a list of features, they can see the problem that they solve and how. Like you see in this sign that I found on the web, and I thought it was quite inspiring, that really summarize what is the problem, pollution, and visualize a car, the cause of the pollution, and then shows the solution by using, which is using bicycle. Oops. So the first tool, visual maps, I want to share with you is called a lean canvas. A lean canvas is basically one-page business plan that help a business to deconstruct a business idea. And it's really the simplified version of the business plan model. And you can see that it helps really to put on paper the problem that the team is solving. You require, for instance, to list out the customer problems that the idea wants to solve with the solution, and also the key metrics. This is a tool that I've used in the past, and it was part of mainly led by the product people, but I found it really useful to ensure that the teams come together and discuss what they are doing. The other tool that I've used is the opportunity solution tree. This is a tool that was popularized by Teresa Torres, a product discovery coach. She created these tools in 2016 as a way to help a product team to streamline a product discovery process and keep track of their continued discovery journey. So the way she described it is a way that the opportunity solution tree is a way of visualizing how a team wants to approach a desire, reach a desired outcome, and make sure that implicit assumptions are explicit, helps to align around our shared understandings, and communicate how a team is going to reach a desired outcome. I've used this tool in the past. I found it that it requires a coach, really a bit of more complexity to get it right. But I want to highlight here again the fact that it puts together in the same image the opportunity and the solution. Opportunity is the language that Teresa Torres used it to describe user pain points. So it's still a problem to solve. And here on the left side, I gave an example of what I mean by an opportunity. This example is taken from the book that Teresa Torres wrote, Continuous Discovery, and is for Netflix. So, for instance, if the opportunity is to improve retention, the team wants to improve retention, and through user research, you found that the user of Netflix, they don't know what to watch, then a solution could be the user reviews, for instance. So that connection, opportunity, or solution is clear and shared among the team. And this is a visual maps that you do together with your team, and you continuously improve it throughout the process. So now I want to share with you a case study, how I use visual maps to improve the collaboration for a redesign of the Mendeley search experience. Mendeley is a tool that Elsevier owns. So this case study is not from my time at Global Relay, but from my previous company, Elsevier. Elsevier is a publishing company that does tools and application for scientists and researchers. So here, just to give a bit of context of what is Mendeley, is a reference system used by millions of academic researchers to organize their research. They could use Mendeley to find articles that it's useful for their research, and also they can save it on the library. So Mendeley has a library where they can save the information in their library. And why we start working on the search redesign, mainly because we were tasked to think about how to increase content engagement. And the two metrics that we aim to move was the number of view for PDF and the add to library events. So when we start to work on the search redesign, we had to create a new teams, and because search is a complex project, is a complex design problem to solve, and requires highly technical team and cross-discipline collaboration. So there was a new team that was created, the Mendeley Discovery, and I was one of the design and researcher that founded the team. But we also had to collaborate with two different teams, the shared service and the data platform. And so basically we had three teams working together for the first time, about 21 people for one page. And you see that there was a lot of disciplines coming together for the first time and individuals coming together again for the first time. So what we did to show you visually the project overall. So in one here, we redesigned the search experience. We start off with a page that looked like more on the one you see on the left, which basically was a list of results. And after a year, this is what the team did. So visually more appealing, but also have features that support content engagement, such as the facet to find filtered results and improve visualization of each results, and also right side panel that gives an overview of the contents in the search result page rather than going somewhere else, as well as the autocomplete that is not visible in this image. So in 1 year, not only we improve the visual representation of this page, but we also managed to improve the content engagement of 400%. So it was really a successful redesign in terms of success, but also in terms of collaboration. And what I think it makes the collaboration of this team successful was the fact that we use a visual maps. And I'm going to tell you now how I got to that visual map. So, of course, what was important to me is to ensure that all the teams that was working on their search redesign knew the user and their pain points. So we start off by user research and by looking at what pain points the user were experiencing when using Mendeley. And what I'm showing here is a section of the experience map that I created to summarize the user session with Mendeley user. And as you can see here, it's quite a busy visualization. And I thought that that was not something that I could share with the team and could help us to understand what to do and what were the user pain points. So I summarize it for the team and for the senior stakeholder in something that looks like this. So it's especially the first part, the problem space, is the summary of the experience map. I wanted to make sure that all the team knew the phases of the search experience that the user were going through and the pain points. So this is really a super summary that was useful for the teams to understand what the user were and what pain points they were experiencing. And what you see here at the bottom are the feature to solve the pain points. The feature is something that we came up together as a team. Once everyone knew the user pain points, then we thought about, okay, how can we solve those problems? And to get a bit more deeper in the details, so in the search experience for Mendeley, we understood that when they start to search for information, even finding the time to search, it's pain point. And so the team, what we suggest was to have saved searches, for instance. And then moving on the next step of writing, when they actually write a search query, one of the pain points that we found out was that spelling and remembering what terms to use was a pain point. And so what we suggested to solve this problem was to have autocomplete and auto-suggest. And then when they find the information, evaluating if the search results is something that it's useful for them, it's something that takes time to make sense of what they found. And so what we suggest to improve that was highlighting the most important information that we knew were important for them through research, such as author, citation, and abstract. And then at the end of the process, when they found something that was useful for them, one of their pain points was access to the PDF and understanding where to save it. And so we made sure that the feature, what we suggest is to have a call to action to save to library and view PDF. So what this map was made also, it changed the view of the team about search. Everyone thought the search was a page, was designing a page. But through this map, we understood that we needed to approach it as a process. We were designing a process rather than a page. So now I want to give you a bit more information on how we use it, because it's not only coming up with a vision map, but what is important is to share it, co-create it, and working together, making sure there is a live document that everyone can question and can pitch in. So how we use this map. So this map was a way of understanding the user pain points and the solution. We use it also to plan the roadmap and create MVP, because it helped us to understand the feature that we needed to develop for search. And we kept sharing throughout the process regularly, every 2 weeks, every sprint, to review the progress of the team. And we also use it to onboard new team member as a way of understanding what this team was tasked to do, what we were doing. And it also we use it to communicate with stakeholders. So this map really summarized what the team was doing, and made it easy for us to share and promote our project. So what are the benefits of using this map and this approach of visual map? So yeah, so what is important, I think was the benefit of using this approach was the fact that the team had awareness of the user points that we were solving. So we were sharing the problems that we were solving, not just a list of feature. And so there was that understanding and ownership of the problems. And also create that connection between what we were doing and how, so the problem and the solution. And the fact that we involve the team to brainstorm on solution, how to solve the problem, help us to find the best way of solving the problems. It also guided our decision to prioritize feature, and it helped us to speak the same language and have a clear direction. Speak the same language, why? Because even the name that we were giving to feature was something important to ensure that we were talking about the same feature, the same language. So the lesson that I learned here is that map are fantastic, really, to foster cross-discipline collaboration, mainly because they give ownership of the problem and the solution to the whole team and create that vision, create an alignment and share vocabularies. And also, it's not just about creating the map, so the what you put in the map, but how you use it. It needs to be a live document that you keep sharing and you involve people in the creation. So my suggestion on how to foster cross-discipline collaboration and team alignment is to create maps that have a clear visualization of the pain points and the solution. Co-create it whenever it's possible, involve the other people, facilitate the discussion, share it, and review it often throughout the process. And that's the end of the talk for me. Thank you so much. Let me know if you got any question.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm always a big fan of visualization of things, because I've had that problem of people with different the bubbles with the different visions of a chair. I've had that happen so often. Great. And I did love the quote that I think I love the most in your talk was we weren't designing a page, we're designing a process. I think that's something that is so relatable to so many people out there, because often you think you're just designing something small, but it's actually how does that fit in the user's journey and how are they going to use it. One thing I have a question on, and please do, if you have any questions, please do write them in either on UXDX or whichever channel you're watching this through. But my question to get things started is around the longevity of these maps. So let's say you're working on this feature. What happens next? So you have this map you've done. do you archive that somewhere? Do you leave it available for people? And where, how do people keep track when you're on to feature 20 or whichever?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So in the case of the case study I shared, basically that we use them up until we completed the feature that were present in that map. And so that was the longevity until the plan was done. But in this specific case, after we did the Mendeley search redesign, I moved in another team, a platform team that was aimed to improve the search experience across different products. And I shared this map with other teams that were approaching the search experience and I asked them to create their own map and fill them with their own information. They found it useful. I was really pleased that that structure was functioning, was working also for other teams, and help them to approach the search experience in the same way, not as a page, not as a components that the tech guy can do it, but as a we need to work it together, design, product, and tech people, the product trio. That concept for me was super important. You need to have that collaboration. And so I found that to create that map really help everyone to understand that search as a problem is not only for tech people. It needs to solve problems. So yeah.
Brilliant. And you mentioned kind of lean canvas. One of the things I always struggled with is trying to find the right level. So sometimes I've seen a lean canvas can work really well at almost like a new product level, but sometimes it's a bit overkill for a new feature or something in an existing product. So where do you, what levels do you find? Do you find something similar, or do you believe that you can use these tools at any level?
Yes. So the other tools that I mentioned before, the Lean Canvas and the tree, the opportunity tree, it's something that we use it at the beginning of the search redesign. I think what is important is to play around with different tools, because by playing around with those tools, I thought, okay, I think I need to create something that is mine, that works for this particular project. So you see that it's inspired by those tools with product and solution together, but it's completely different. It's something that I did it specifically for this project. So I think we as a practitioner, we should know what is out there, but then change what we need according to our needs.
Great. And I don't know if you were inspired, but it looked to me like it was almost heading towards a user story map. I don't know if you.
Yes. Yeah. Um, it is, but I think this user experience map could be a bit too overwhelming. What I think it was powerful in this visualization was the fact that it was super simple. It was really the minimum bare information there, and it almost asked for information. And so it fostered that collaboration. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that?
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Laura. I found that really useful. I hope people out there did as well. So thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.